me that thermos.
What?
Give me that thermos.
Hold on. Demanding shit.
Surface realistic possibilities and threats so that you can improve the plan, improve the product, and increase your chance of success.
At the time, Klein was running an R&D firm that studied decision-making in organizations.
You know, many of our projects succeeded, but not all of them. And we would occasionally have an after-action review. Those weren't exciting things to do. We were pretty disgruntled. I said, why don't we do this at the very beginning? Why don't we imagine that it fails? Often in organizations, if you have like a kickoff meeting, there'll be a part where they say, all right, now does anybody have any concerns? Are there any critiques? Does anybody see any problem? And nobody says anything, either because they don't want to disrupt the harmony of the team, or because they're not thinking that anything can go wrong because they're excited to get started. So to break through that mindset, I developed a technique at the keyboard. And at the end of the keyboard meeting, we say, all right, imagine that I'm looking at a crystal ball. I'm dialing forward 6 months, maybe a year, whatever the right time frame is. And oh no. This project has failed. It's failed in a big way. We know that. There is no doubt. This crystal ball is infallible. Now, everybody in the room, you've got 2 minutes. Write down all the reasons why this project failed. And it's amazing the types of issues that people surface that ordinarily they wouldn't say in public or even think about.
Can you explain from a psychological perspective why that works?
Well, after I developed the technique, I read about some research on prospective hindsight. And so I think a big part of it is the certainty that it's failed. And so now that changes my mindset, so I'm not resisting. If I say, here's the plan, are there any problems? There's all kinds of pressure not to think about problems. I'm certain that the plan has failed by entering into that exercise. It just changes the whole balance, the whole experience.
So interesting. I mean, we always hear about how humans perform poorly under uncertainty generally. So you're saying you're just removing the uncertainty of whether it will work. You're saying it didn't. Now tell me why it didn't, and that provides clarity.
Right.
So what happens next? After people voice these ideas, what happens now?
Okay, so we never thought about this as a tool outside our company. This was just something we did, but then we had a big project we were doing for the Air Force. It was a software tool for identifying ways of using precision-guided munitions. And I told my prime sponsor, I want to do a pre-mortem. And he said, what's that? And I explained it to him, and he said, absolutely no way. We want everybody to be positive. This is such a depressing exercise. I don't want to do it. And I said, this is an important project. We want it to succeed. This is a way to make it succeed. And reluctantly, he agreed to do it. Well, we were doing this pre-mortem, and there was this young captain, hadn't said a word. The meeting had gone on for about 2 days, hadn't said a word. And it was time for him to come up with what he had on his list. We go around one at a time around the room, and we do 1 or 2 or 3 sweeps. And he looked a little nervous, and he said,
Open the door.
tool that we're building,
What?
it's
Open
for
the door.
people in the field, and they
door?
have
Your door.
Why?
low-power laptops. The tool we're building runs on a supercomputer that takes
Open it.
48 hours. I don't see how
You
that's
need
going
an
to work.
ashtray? Oh.
And there was silence in the room because everybody realized he was